Okay, what actually uses Rust? Nowadays Rust is mentioned in a lot of places, being that Rust is the new kid on the block, setting new trends throughout the tech and programming world. It's sometimes hard to have a grasp of where exactly Rust is used. I don't think Rust, maybe it's any more the new kid on the block. I think if we just make a search, I think it's quite old by now actually. It appeared in 2012 for the first time, so it has quite a legacy already. And I think it has spread quite a lot. If you look at the Stack Overflow survey, I think there is a lot of Rust usage nowadays. Let's take a look and see if we can find that. Here we have the most popular technologies, programming, scripting, and markup languages. And then we look here. So JavaScript is leading, but then we find Rust here. So 14.8%. And the question that they answered was, which programming, scripting, or markup language have you done extensive development work in over the past year? And it's around here. Go is slightly more popular. We have Kotlin here under, Lua, Assembly, Ruby. So we can see Rust is more than twice as popular as Ruby and more popular than Swift. I think that says quite a lot. It's not far from PHP, C. Oh yeah, here they're kind of growing in popularity. But yeah, it's not that uncommon anymore to doing Rust development. Today I'm presenting a non-exhaustive list of big projects and companies that use Rust. Note that many of these companies don't have only one Rust project. I'm highlighting the most talked about and significant. So the full list is here. 𝗘𝗺𝗡𝗟𝗏 is currently being rewritten in Rust. It has been quite a lot of publicity since Ubuntu is switching to this. So that's a group of Linux tools that have been in C, I think, and it has been licensed under GPL, I think, but now it's being rewritten in Rust. The Linux kernel has been using Rust since Linux 6.1 and has been stable since 6.19. So that was big news very recently that Rust for Linux now is considered stable. Windows 11 also uses Rust components. That's interesting. Windows 11 started to get components written in Rust. And yeah, here we have it. Ubuntu has now adopted 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗏, so Rust's core 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗏. That's what we saw up here. Dino, the Node.js spiritual successor, is written in Rust. 𝗬𝗺, the Electron alternative successor. I've heard quite a lot of good about this product. A lot of stars, 106,000. This sounds like a good alternative to Electron and more lightweight as far as I've heard. Chromium now integrates Rust. The US NSA government recommends Rust in its guidance on how to protect against software memory safety issues. I think this is the same thing where it banned development in C++. Here is that thing. White House urges developers to switch to Rust, replacing C and C++. Z, and the IDE written in Rust, is used by 7.3. So it's a Stack Overflow survey again. We can see the popularity of it. Down here, Z. Rider, I like to do .NET development in. It's close to Z here. 𝗓𝗏𝗧𝗔𝗖𝗓, the terminal emulator written in Rust, is used by 17% of developers in Arch Linux community survey. I'm using 𝗓𝗏𝗧𝗓 myself. Good one. Rust has been identified as safe for coding tools by NIST. Microsoft CTO recommends Rust. Apple is now using Rust. AWS now uses Rust. Cloudflare has been using Rust since 2022. Discord switched from Go to Rust. Valve Proton is using Rust. Dropbox uses Rust. New Shell, a new type of shell that's gaining popularity. So that's also using Rust apparently. Let's scroll down. Oh, yeah, Rust. I've heard a bit about this. It seems to be quite popular. Servo, the work-in-progress browser engine that would replace Gecko in Firefox. I've heard quite a lot about Servo. It seems like it's developing quite well, actually, even though I think Mozilla is not doing any development themselves anymore, but it's more independent product, and it seems like it's doing quite well. SWC, the JavaScript compiler and bundler used by Next.js, Vercel, ByteDance, Tencent, and more. That's cool. 𝗟𝗏𝗧𝗓𝗏, the Tmax alternative, is also using Rust. NASA is using Rust for memory-safe programming. Edit, Windows new editor, is written in Rust. So Helix is also based on Rust. That's cool. So that's an alternative to Vim. It's quite similar to that. It has similar key bindings, but it differs a bit. It's more like batteries included alternative to Vim, so you don't have to or I don't think they even support plugins. You get a lot out of the box instead of with Helix. What is this? Redox experimental OS written in Rust. That sounds interesting. Okay, so it's on GitLab and yeah, some stars. Maybe this is much for GitLab, maybe. Meta is now embracing Rust. Rust is now more popular in science-related fields. Nature article. That says quite a lot. If it's even being published by Nature. Why scientists are turning to Rust. Ladybird, a Chrome alternative, is moving from C++ to Rust. I thought they were going to switch to Swift eventually. So I didn't know that they were adopting Rust instead. We have been searching for a memory-safe programming language to replace C++ in Ladybird for a while now. We previously explored Swift, but the C++ interop never quite got there, and platform support outside Apple ecosystem was limited. Rust is a different story. The ecosystem is far more mature for systems programming, and many of our contributors already know the language. Going forward, we are rewriting parts of Ladybird in Rust. Okay, cool. That was news to me. It was from February in this year. That's cool. Google also uses Rust. Rust in Android move fast and fix things. Figma uses Rust for its multiplayer service. What is this with multiplayer? Is it that there can be multiple people editing at the same time, I suppose? At Figma, performance is one of the most important features. We strive to enable teams to work at speed of thought, and our multiplier syncing engine is a critical part of this vision. Everyone should see each change made to a Figma document in real time. Okay, yeah, so that's syncing between the users who are using Figma at the same time. Why this matters? No matter how much we Rust developers like to think that Rust is now mainstream, truth is that while we have crossed the chasm, Rust is still nowhere near the popularity of C++ or even Java. Was it that big difference in the Stack Overflow service? C++ 23% and Rust 14%. So about 50% more C++, but it's not that far away, I would say. Programming language usage is a weird metric because while it heavily depends on factors outside the language developers control, the Rust project might control the compiler, new language design, or tooling around Rust. But these people do not control the whole ecosystem around the language. The Rust project does not control YouTube videos, blog articles, or the number of crates that are uploaded to our registry. This means that no matter how good or fast Clip is, or how great the memory safety caused by the borrow checker is, the first language that's taught in many universities is still Java. People use JavaScript for everything, and C++ is still used in planes. Yeah, I don't think you are going to rewrite maybe the software in a plane that quickly. I think it's probably a long iteration time on that, and probably a lot of legacy code. And if it's working, and then why rewrite something that's already working? This is why I find it important to highlight and underscore which projects have tried Rust, how the process went, and what they learned along the way. But that was a fun list. Quite a lot of famous or well-known projects here that I think most of us have heard about. So yeah, nice list. I also noticed down here at the bottom, and there's a nice page counter. So if I refresh here, you will see it increases 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that's a classic website with this page or visitor counters. You don't see them so often nowadays. But yeah, good list. Good list. What do you think? Have you picked up Rust, or will you do that? After seeing all these successful and amazing projects and companies all choosing Rust, is it time to also for you to choose Rust? Please leave a comment, and we will see each other another time. Bye bye.